Welcome viewers to the next edition of Development Talks. Today we have with us Iqra L Qamari. She has experience in public-private partnership and she has also economics background. So my question to Iqra is basically uh, what does she see as opportunities of PPP in Bangladesh and what may be the missed opportunities and its relevance in the global context also, how we should implement project, actually lowering the burden of the government
Right.
to some extent. So the floor is yours, Ikra.
Thank you, Zahir, for having me. I would like to start with how PPP has been a very relatively new concept in Bangladesh. And fortunately, there is an act in place which formed in 2015. And there are incentives have been taken to, say, start projects under the transportation sector or the water and sanitation sector and urban setting under rural development sector. But like you said, that there are many missed opportunities. I feel like this is something that we have not banked on enough. The biggest example,
Energy sector
energy sector as well,
as well.
various sectors, even tourism. They're trying to start something for the tourism sector, but so far there has not been anything tangible that has actually made a difference, if you know what I mean. The only project that has actually been in the news and we all know about is Dhaka Elevated Expressway. Initially the project was very promising. It is a huge project of huge investment. But unfortunately, for a country like Bangladesh, you need your infrastructure to be very inclusive. What do I mean by inclusive infrastructure is that the kind that is planned and implemented and designed to include all sections of people, even the marginalized.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, say I am coming from Dhanmondi to here, I have to pay 80 taka for it. And I have to take a private car for it. I cannot just go get on a CNG or a motorbike and I cannot come here. So this, I think, creates even more difference in the society. It's not equitable. And I feel this is where the project fell short. That's one of the points. Secondly, I feel it has not exactly reduced traffic congestion. It has diverted the traffic congestion to some specific areas, like when during the ramp entries and exits, we have to face a huge tailback now. So I feel PPPs, with the expertise of the private sector and also the public sector, it can promote infrastructure that is inclusive, that is going to include the entirety of the society. Um, so yeah, I feel like there are many missed opportunities, but since there is hope, since we do have an act in place, there is hope that we have a new government, we have people who wants change and who wants reforms, so they will take a deep dive into this concept, and hopefully more and more private sector encouragement and engagement will allow us to develop our infrastructure in a more inclusive way.
Okay. Well, that's a very good point. So basically, some works on the ground are there, but
Right.
we can very constructively criticize that overall completion was delayed significantly, cost escalated significantly,
Yes,
and it was not that much inclusive.
it
I
was
think, in your
not.
view, I agree with you, and also actually the purpose and the objective of that particular project was to reduce traffic jam, but it has passed on maybe the traffic jam elsewhere.
Yeah.
And any other sector you know of that where PPP has been implemented successfully?
Well, PPP has a dialysis center in Nigdu, and there it offers kidney dialysis at a very reduced cost for
Okay.
patients that cannot afford regular kidney dialysis.
Okay.
But the operations are not as efficient as one would like them to be. And And in my previous experience of working for a private sector company, what I've realized is that they would like PPPs for digitalization of the healthcare system, and I think this is somewhere where PPPs can play a huge role. I am sure that we are all aware of the situation that we are not being able to gain access to Indian medical healthcare at the moment.
True.
And I feel this is a point where like Bangladesh healthcare can take a turn because now demand for Bangladeshi healthcare will increase. And the problem with the healthcare sector is that when it's public healthcare, okay, it's more accessible for the underprivileged, the underserved, because it's more affordable. But at the same time, it's not as good as the private medical sectors. I will not get the same kind of service in Dhaka Medical College as
Absolutely.
I would get in, say, United. But it's out of budget for most of the people in Bangladesh. I would say, I dare say, 80% or 90%.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So if with PPPs, if there is like a digitalization of services, if the expertise of the private healthcare system and the social welfare aspect of the public can be integrated for the healthcare, I feel like
It's an opportunity.
it's an opportunity. It's a Pandora's box that we have not
Absolutely.
explored yet.
Okay.
What I do have my knowledge that National Development of Engineers (NDE) they are looking to work towards this. They want to work with a Singapore company named Synapsy. So they're very open. But the thing is that there are missed opportunities, like you said, and there are also not enough awareness about this. Even in the government sector, previous government sectors, like people, there was a lot of bureaucracy. In the PPP process, there is a lot of delay, given there needs to be decision making from various ministries, agencies, and sectors. And most of the people working for the government are not aware of this process. They're not technical experts. So
True.
what they do is they hire consultants from
True.
outside. But you have to, if you're working in the ministries, you have to know about all these processes yourself so that you can make quick decisions. But that has been something that has not happened yet.
Not yet on the ground.
Not yet
Another
on the
two
ground.
areas sometimes strikes my mind. I'm just checking with you.
Yes.
Agribusiness is a very opportune area.
Yes, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
as you know, in Bangladesh, the cold storage capacity
Cold storage capacity
is very
yes.
much in the hands of the private sector.
Yes.
And I don't know of any initiative or any project in that area, cold storage.
There has not been any.
No.
There has not been any. There have been talks where the private sector has approached the public sector ministries about cold storage development. But like I said, I mean, there is a missing synergy between the two that needs to be developed. So there are many projects that are like on the talks, but there is nothing has been solidified yet. And I feel these need to be expedited for PPPs to gain traction, because most of the people in Bangladesh, they're not aware of PPPs. It's a very distant concept that only a few consultants may be aware of. And it's the same with the public sector. Whenever the private sector is approaching them with, say, a PPP proposal, there needs to be always an introduction to PPP in all the meetings, because most people are not aware of it. Whereas in abroad, even in India, there have been so many successful PPP projects. Even like I just mentioned in healthcare, there's a PPP project in India that provides door-to-door consultations with videos from the doctor, which has been a massive successful PPP project. So I feel like we can draw examples from developing countries and implement them here.
No, that's a very good point, Iqra. Another area, I'm again checking with you. I always thought in Netherlands is very popular combining water and recreation.
Right.
And in Bangladesh, tourism and water sector, they collaborate not to the extent that they could have. So now there is a discussion. The environment advisor recently revived the discussion, Rizwana Hassan, on waterways around Dhaka,
Right.
reviving the 4 rivers,
Right.
Turag, Balu, Shitalokha and Buriganga. And once these rivers are revived, then it would act as the waterway around Dhaka.
Okay.
So point A to point B, you can very quickly move,
Cool.
reducing the traffic congestion of the city. And then from that point, you can go to your destination. That
May I ask, how does that integrate tourism in this?
No, I'm coming to that. So in Bangladesh, as I notice, wherever there is water,
Yeah.
people to go for recreational activities.
Yes.
So this could be transportation, but they could just roam around in like Rotterdam and Amsterdam in the waterways.
Right.
It will generate revenue.
Absolutely.
So it could be for your office purpose or private purpose or recreation even. And of course some catering service, food around. So I see a kind of public-private partnership opportunity there.
Absolutely.
And water is always like it is functional and recreational
Yes.
combined.
Absolutely.
So that
I
may
think
be.
a similar thing was also done in Indonesia.
Mhm.
I do not know the exact name of the project, but a similar thing was done in Indonesia, where waterways, like you mentioned, and recreational activities were developed around the rivers, so that like people use the transportation, but they're also looking for say eateries or entertainment, which is something very missing over here.
Yes.
And I feel like that's also, as you speak for Rizwana Hassan ma'am, she's also she's very concerned about the environment. So I feel whenever people are using one channel a lot more, so people are using Buriganga, for example, for regular transportation, but they are not very aware of how dirty the Buriganga River is.
Absolutely.
And I feel if there is, if we can reduce the gap between the classes of Bangladesh, say, not Buriganga will not just cater to the lower middle class or the lower class, but it will also cater to the upper middle class. And they will go there for a recreational activity. I think more and more attempts will be made to clean that river.
Absolutely. I fully agree. But there had been some initiatives.
Yeah.
Landing station at Ashulia was also constructed, but
Right.
it never saw the light of the day. The reason being the bus owners of city
Right.
felt threatened that
Yes.
their business will be affected. But anyway, Iqra, thanks again for coming to our platform. We look forward to receive you again
Thank you so
on
much.
other topics.
Thank you so much.
Maybe some other topics on economics,
Thank you so much.
which is your area of specialization. So with that hope and aspiration for a good year, Happy New Year
Happy New Year.
2025,
Thank you so much.
and wish you all the best and success,
You too.
Iqra.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
that's all for today. Yeah, thank you.